Let's see. Okay, we're live. So, hello everybody. Welcome to VFlex Studio Hour. My name is Donna. I'm the owner of VFlex, and I'll let my lovely guest introduce herself.
I'm Bronia with the Queen Bee Splits and Baubles. Let me see if I need to turn my light on, if that's better for you all. Yeah, I think that's better lighting, Donna, yes?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay,
I'm going to be going off in a second. But I do want to get us shared over on my page so people know.
Okay.
Let me do that. Or get me open so I could see and share it. It's such a pain. It's like
I did thank you when I did my little post on my page.
And okay, I'm in. I just want to share it to my other page. Oh, it won't let me. Okay. All right. Awesome. Hopefully people will join us. We are streaming on YouTube also. So
that's exciting.
Welcome in. Yeah. So I guess we can get started. I'm going to go off the stage.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, welcome in, everyone. Wonderful to have you. It's my honor and my privilege to work with Donna at VFlex and create beautiful things with her beautiful papers. So the lovely you're working with today is a very iconic Marilyn Monroe. The name of the paper is Icon 3. ICON, like these icons, and then number 3, because there are other Marilyn prints available with Donna. But this particular one, Icon 3. So I love the colors. I love the watercolor of just the splattering of color behind her and the birds, her hair. I mean, just everything about this. And her Tiffany blue dress, just love it. So I thought, gosh, what am I going to do with this paper? That's not something I've done before. So this is my first journal I'm doing. So this journal, look how pretty. It's got this gold foil edges on the paper. So to me, that was very fancy and very rich and just very gimme and very deserving of having this Monroe on the cover. So this one, instead of opening, from the side, this one opens this way. It is lined. And it was a really pretty, like mustard gold color. You could see around the edges here before I painted it. So I did give it 2 layers of chalk paint on the front and the binding here. The back, I only did 1 layer, so I wanted you to see what that looks like. And I do like to do a base coat of chalk paint on anything that's porous. So anything that will absorb moisture or paint, I like to use chalk paint as my primer, if you will. And that serves 2 purposes. It gives us a nice white base to work on, whether we're going to paint on top of it or decoupage, because you want to put your paper on top of something white most of the time, because that base color, you may not think it will, but that base color will show through on your image and distort or muddy those colors. Sometimes there's a special effect and you want that, but most of the time you love the paper the way it is. You want those colors to show true and all those details to show up. So you want to start with a white base. So I like base coating with white chalk paint because it gives me that nice white base. It also seals working with chalk paint, it also seals that surface. So if you're working with unfinished wood or fabric, something that's going to absorb that moisture in the paint, chalk paint is a great option because it seals it. And then if you want to paint on top of it, you're going to get a nice finish of your acrylic paint. If you just went straight on top of the fabric with acrylic paint, you run the risk of it kind of getting absorbed unevenly and it gets glossy. If that happens to you, just let it dry or use a blow dryer and dry it, and then put on another cover until you're happy with the final effect. But I prefer, again, to just use your white chalk paint as the base. That way, whatever this fabric is going to absorb, it's going to absorb that white chalk paint. It's almost like when you use canvas and you cover it with gesso first. It seals the canvas and kind of makes it ready for the new stuff you're going to put on top of it. This white chalk paint serves the same purpose. It's just the Waverly chalk paint from Walmart. Nothing fancy. Or Hobby Lobby, or if you have to order it off Amazon. Waverly chalk paint. You can use the other brands of chalk paint that's out there. Now, Folk Art has it. Deco Art has a chalk paint. The purpose is you want to use it and seal your base. So the back, I only did one layer of chalk paint intentionally because you could see some of the gold still showing through them. No worries, this is the back of our journal, and we're going to paint a couple colors from this print on the back. So before I get her messy, I'm going to put her to the side. I'm going to use my fancy paint palette. And I think we're going to do kind of this Tiffany blue first, and then add a Harlequin metallic gold on top. And since we're working with a metallic gold, I think we might just offer a smattering of like this turquoise metallic, which is Deco Art Desert Turquoise. That's appropriate because our friend Donna lives out in the desert, don't you? I can't hear you, Donna, if you're still there. Did you leave me already? Okay. So we're just going to squirt a little bit of our paint out here. I like to work with various shades, if you will, of kind of the same color. So it kind of, I think it adds kind of more of a hand painted artistic look. So we've got a couple different colors there. And then we're going to pour out just a little bit of our metallic and white, because white is a great blender if you need to blend your colors without mixing them, and it also helps lighten it. So I'm going to triple check, make sure I've got my front is here, and I don't want anything to mess with my front. All right, so I'm going to tear off just a little bit of parchment paper. Pardon the noise. Kind of use it as my placemat because I craft and work at this table when I work from home. But it just kind of gives you a clean surface to work on. I don't want to pick up any glitter or anything else I might have there. And I'm picking up some of all three colors on my paintbrush at the same time. So can you see? Where am I? There I am. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just going to start painting. And you can see already how I don't just have a solid Tiffany blue. I already have kind of a shadow and a highlight effect. Got a little bit of glue on my phone. It looks like my apologies. So again, I'm picking up some of the light blue, some of the dark blue, and I'm dipping the whole thing in white. There we go. I've got my parchment one to roll up. I'll just tuck the top of it under my stack of rhinestones that we're going to play with later. Donna told me we did not have a time limit, And that's kind of dangerous to tell me because I'm time traveling. If it gets to be past anyone's bedtime, I understand. And I'm not going to be able to see comments, Miss Donna. So hopefully you can keep up with those. And if there's anything I need to answer, let me know. I do want to kind of work around the really pretty gold corners that they have on here. These metallic, this kind of fancy covers they have on the gold corners. Because remember, the size of these pages are really pretty metallic gold. So that looks pretty just extra pink. And we like pink. Oops. Yeah, a little bit of gold there helps my paints print a little bit smoother.
Hey, bro. Can you
Yes.
hear?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I don't know what happened. Let me see. Okay.
Oh, I see you.
No. The stage.
Is that me?
Hold on. I don't want. Hold on. I'm just trying to fix it because. Yeah,
Did I do something?
no, it's not you. It's me. I was trying to fix it. Okay.
That's
Sorry. But I did hear something wrong with the sound, and I don't know what that was. Are you still there?
I am.
Okay. Okay, it sounds better. So maybe it was my side I had to fix. So, okay.
Okay, so I have one layer of my acrylic paint on. I'm going to go ahead and try it. Well, that was a terrible sound. I'm so sorry. Uh-oh. Can you still see me? It looks like my phone dropped.
Yeah, it's sort of cut off now. Your project's cut off.
Oopsie.
Hold on, we're having technical difficulty. Okay. I can see you. Oh.
That's still a good angle or not so?
No, there's something green in the way.
That's my green plate.
So
Is that better?
It's still cut off. Do you want to turn it around the other way?
I can, certainly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that'll probably be better that way. Fooling with it. There you go. There you go. That's so much better. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I did one layer of my Tiffany blue paint.
Tiffany. That is a pretty color.
Isn't it a gorgeous color?
Yeah. So
There
if
was
anybody's watching this on the replay, make sure you just put a comment, like if you're on Facebook, hashtag replay, or if you're on you just let us know that you watched it. Just hit a replay or something so we know. And I just to let everybody know that his affiliate link is listed in the description of both. So you'll have it Facebook and you'll have it on YouTube. It's her affiliate link to this paper. And it doesn't cost her anything or cost you anything else, but it just helps her a little. It lets me know that people are off her link. And it's just really important that you guys use that link to purchase anything from her. We will be having a drawing for this paper at the end. If anybody wants to join and comment, it will be at the end of this. Draw a name and somebody will win this paper.
oh my goodness.
But in order to win the paper, you got to be following both of us. You follow Bronia. You have to follow me on both platforms. And you got to like, comment, and share us out if possible. So please think about doing that. Leave us a comment so we can get your name and you have a chance to win this beautiful paper.
You will want this paper.
Icon 3. And let me see. I will bring it up right now. Let me share it. Let me share screen. Yes. So you will be entered in a chance to receive paper right here. So did anybody see that? There you go. That paper right there.
Okay.
And
so I told you I was going to add just a little bit of that metallic on here, just because it's fancy and like it's a beautiful color, and I want to use it. But I don't want the whole bag to be metallic. Just so it's almost like a dry brush effect. Just kind of a little kiss of metallic. Okay, let me show you. So we have our two colors of kind of a Tiffany blue, a light and a dark, and just a little bit of white. All three colors on the paintbrush, and a couple layers. And then once it's dry, it's kind of a dry brush effect of the metallic.
So
it's kind of a really pretty peacock blue color.
Yeah, that looks pretty.
Dry. I keep saying I want to get one of those regular tools because it's quiet. You know, I watch my little Hello Kitty from the thrift store. Now I wish I had the silent one. With metallics, it's hard to tell if it's dry because it has a little bit of sheen to it. And I did go ahead and paint this little the top of it, even though we're going to put layers of green on there, but I just didn't want the white showing. Right, so now we're going to do something fun. We're going to add our Harlequin, because that's one of my favorite patterns to work with. And our friend Marilyn is a classic, and I think Harlequin is also a classic design. So we're doing Harlequin. Not sure if we want to do large or medium. These stencils are a great purchase. This came in a set of 5 different sizes.
Wow.
So we've got like a small, medium, larger medium, large, and then there's even a smaller one, I think.
Where'd you get those at?
Amazon. So if you, I think if you do diamond stencil, this is what shows up. Yeah, but I'm almost sure it was 5. I used to cut off them. But in any event, I use these all the time, as you can see, because they're covered with the paint. I think it's going to be fun to do the large harlequin on here. And whenever I am doing harlequin, I like to have my points even across the top of something. And then if the diamonds fall off the bottom, I don't mind. Or sometimes if you're going to see all of it at one time, you want to match it to whatever it's meeting up with. But no one's going to see the front of this journal and the back at the same time. So I'm going to see if I can kind of get this. And I also want it centered so that the diamonds on the edge are balanced. So that nothing falls off the edge, or if they do, it's, oh, look at that. We're going to get that pretty. Because the point here and the point here and the point here matches up within a scope. Let me switch this over with the points on the edges of the journal over here. Does that make sense? So we're going to have this as kind of our center. All right, okay. So this is pretty even. Where the points of our diamonds are going to end up going off and the bottoms will go off. So do I like it like that, or do I really like the top of mine? I know me, and I think my OCD requires me to line up the points on the top. So I don't want to lose grip on it, so we're going to do that. Now, one thing I like to do, my stencil, which may be a new technique for some of you, I like the stencil with a spongy brush. I like them, not brush, these sponges. So this came from Dollar General. 2 of them for $1. I think you can also get them at Hobby Lobby in the paint brush section in the front. And I think they have 4 in a package for $3.99. So that's $1 a piece. I don't use the whole thing. I kind of refer to it as a little cheese wheel. Imagine, fancy cheese that comes in a wheel. Not slices in a package, but fancy cheese. And I just cut off my little wedge. Doesn't even have to be a whole quarter of a round. I only use this little spongy per color one time. At the end of this project, I'm going to pick it, because for a few cents, it's not worth me trying to wash it.
Yeah.
But I could have, you can cut them smaller too, depending on the size of your area that you're stenciling. Okay, so I'm going to use a really pretty gold. It is Stecco Art Metallics, and the name of this is actually Champagne. So it's not a super bright gold.
Hey, Bronia, hear me? For some reason, sound keeps down. I'm going to step away. You continue. I'm going to step away and listen to our sound on Facebook away from here. Because I don't know what's going on. I'll be right back.
All right. So here's our image again. Here's the gold. I thought the champagne was a pretty color, kind of tone to go with all the watercolor gold in here. So in this case, I'm not using a real bright vivid gold or an antique gold. I really liked the champagne. So thank you for hanging out with us in the midst of our sound issues. What did I do with me? Right, so you could tape it with your painter's tape to keep it in line. You can see I've already done that. Let's see, what do I want to do? I don't know how many. All right, so keep the top of it up and off the stencil, and it's touching the book underneath. Okay. And remember, we've already centered our diamond down the center. And as these points of the diamond are pretty even, as they barely come off the edge of our diamond, or drum in this case. All right, so ready? We've got our little sponge. I like to hold it in the point. I'm going to dip it in my old paint. Just like when you're stenciling with a brush, you want to offload it pretty well.
So back, yeah, I don't know, something's going on with the sound.
Is it on my end, you think?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but you're cutting in and out. So I don't know what that is.
I don't see any way to adjust my sound that I can see, or my microphone.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know what's going on. It's so weird.
Well, I'm a little weird, so
it's okay. I mean, we'll just keep going because and looking at settings and everything, trying to figure this out.
My microphone should be on, correct? On my setting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let's see.
So I am just gently pouncing with my sponge. I say it's kind of like when you're cooking and you're adding spices. You want to go gently at first because you can always add more. But if you put too much in, you can't get any back out of the recipe and stuck. So I'd rather you do 2 or 3 layers of a light touch of paint than think you're going to cut corners and be in a hurry and do 1 heavy layer and then you're not happy. Because that's when it's going to seep under your stencil.
Yeah.
So you want to just, and you see, I'm not swirling, I'm just gently pouncing up and down. I start in the center, so when there's the most paint on my sponge, it'll be in the center, and then go around the edge. When you're working with metallics, keep in mind they are thin or more translucent than your usual acrylics. So that means they go on thinner and they're a little see-through. So if you do not want your background color to show through, my recommendation is that you pick an acrylic similar in color. So like I could have used a really soft tan or sand. I could have done 1 layer of acrylic and sand. And then when it's dry, do my metallic. In this particular case, I kind of want to just a hint of metallic. I didn't want it to be a really solid finish. You'll see the difference here when we're done.
Yeah.
So since I'm doing just a really light pounce, as it dries, I can see how much of my Tiffany blue is showing through. Am I happy with that, or do I want a darker finish of the metallic? So, see? Let me get this a blow dry. We finally broke our 100-degree temperature here. Had a little bit of rain, and now it's muggy, but it's like in the 70s. So it's very weird. But everybody, all my neighbors and their dogs are all out walking.
Well, just hot. Hot.
That was a terrible sound, at least on my end. Okay. So I'm going to go back through some of these. I'm not going to darken all of them. I kind of like that effect where some of them are a little bit darker than others. I just want to make sure that I've got a nice crisp edge on the edge of all my diamonds. But if this were the case where you're like, hey, I don't want any of my background color showing through, that's where you'd want to go and do your first layer of just a very similar but opaque acrylic color, so like sand or beige. Let that dry and then go on top of that with your metallic because it is that translucent. Oh, pretty. Okay, I am happy with this. Sometimes what I see in my head is not what turns out, so we're always tickled when the vision we have in our head turns out. Or sometimes you get a bonus and it turns out better than you expected. Okay, so not that you're going to see the back and the front at the same time, but I did want you to see how they go together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see the metallic on it.
It's very.
Thank you. Okay, move over here and stay there. All right. So luckily on this book, it does lay flat. So we can go ahead and move on to our front that has our Maryland happening. And that can do its drawing thing. I don't know how much drawing it's going to do. I didn't have my fan in here. And there's going to be air circulation because it's St. Louis and it's humid.
Yeah.
Okay. So on my book, it's almost as wide as the print, but not quite. So I played with this quite a bit. And I know that I don't want to cut off any of her hair or the really pretty watercolor on top. If I lose any of the print, I'm going to go ahead and lose this down here, where it's just darker. So before you go cutting anything or fussy cutting, I really say lay it on there, kind of fold it gently. Make sure you're happy with the placement and that you're featuring what you want and that you're not losing anything important. And I'm going to put it on here. But I am going to put her over just a smidge because I want to add a quote here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, I totally forgot at work to print that off. So I do not have it. But what you'll see is kind of what I did on this quote. I added a Maryland quote to the side. I'm going to pick a Maryland quote and I'm going to add it here on the bottom. So that's why I wanted to scoot my image over just a little bit to allow some room specifically to put my works. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me? The sound is so bad. I think maybe if you go out and come in with that.
I see the speaker thing here.
Yeah, that's mute.
Okay. So go out and come back in.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, let me try that. Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's all right. We'll just continue. So are on. So she was back out. I'm trying to see if that will fix the sign. See if she can come back in. Okay, let's
I hear you.
There you are. Let me see.
Is that better?
It does sound a little better. Yeah, say something. Are you talking?
I'm not talking, no, I'm just thinking
Okay.
and breathing. Sometimes I can't multitask.
Well, it seems a little bit better.
Okay. So before I do any sanding or cutting, I am just going to use my fingers and gently fold my pretty paper around the edge of the cover. That way I'm not committed quite yet. And that gives you, yet again, one more chance to look at your project and say, yep, that's where I want it. And now you can see my paper is kind of folded. So now when I put my varnish here and I lay this on top, so I already got the folds on the bottom side, so they'll help me place my image right where I wanted it. So I'm going to try another new tonight. I am trying Mod Podge Multi. Some of you have seen Debbie Lonsdale, Debbie Ridge use this. This is kind of her go-to. I love a product that you can use in more than one way. So you can decoupage with it and seal with it, for example. And this, not only can you do that with, but it's dishwasher safe, machine washable, indoor, outdoor, all in one glue, sealer, and finish. It comes in 2 flavors. One is a matte. I chose the gloss because I like things that have kind of a shiny finish. No big surprise there. But it does come in those 2 different formulas. So if you're more of a matte, then go that route. If you like a shiny finish, try the shiny. I did not go with matte specifically because my matte I really like is the Waverly Varnish matte. Because every time I've used it, that matte disappears and it does not distort the color. Mod Podge matte that I've used, I'm not happy with because after you've put your image on there, you can still see a little bit of that Mod Podge, a slight sheen. What I like about Waverly Varnish in matte is that it does completely disappear with every time I've used it. But I'm going to use this new product and see what we think. Because I love something, like I said, that you can use multiple ways. Because then if you're not buying a Mod Podge medium and a sealer, then you save some money and you can buy pretty paper. That's my rationale.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are some tips.
Use and it comes out. So it's a thinner consistency than Mod Podge.
Yeah. Okay. So I always, if I use Mod Podge, I always spray some water it down because it's just too thick for decoupaging.
Yes. I very rarely use it. And if I do, it's because I'm using a thicker paper, like a poster paper or copier paper. But if I'm using, I try and match the density or thickness of my decoupage medium to the paper. So if you're going napkins or tissue paper that's really thin, I like the varnish for that, or even the polyacrylic. But I'm going to see if we like this, because then you're not buying all these different mediums for all these different things you might want to decoupage. All right, Donna, another first. I know you said you spray your paper before you put it down.
Yes, I missed it.
That where my mister is.
It lays better. I could use a spray bottle to just lightly spray it. It always lays better for me when I do that.
Okay, well, I'm excited. I'm going to give it a whirl.
Okay.
And where is my new paintbrush? I just got them out here. Oh, there they are. And I just got stickles delivered. So we have some fun new colors of stickles to play with.
That's good.
What happens when Donna said there's no time limit? We're going to be taking breakfast orders. Okay. New paintbrushes. I love paintbrushes on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So this was an $8 set of paintbrushes I got for $1.99. 5 brushes.
Oh,
I love great quality. So these are Royal Line Nickel. 5 brushes for $2. You can't beat that, can you?
no, good deal.
Okay, so I tend to do one layer down the center of my project, kind of like a racing stripe or skunk stripe. And I like to go forwards and backwards, up and down, side to side. That just helps me know that I have a hair from my new paintbrush. That just makes me feel confident that I've got sealer on every inch of this project. So there's no air bubbles underneath of what's not sealed down. And since I folded it kind of where I wanted it to start and stop on my project, I know exactly where to place my paper. What you'll find with the rice paper, if you're new to rice paper, please go on Donna's site and treat yourself to some pretty papers. They're wonderful to work with. But they're also a little forgiving. Not a little forgiving, a lot more forgiving than a lot of other papers you might find. Because if you do have an oops or an air bubble or a little bit of a crease, it will let you pick it up and reposition it. Tissue paper and napkins are not going to give you that opportunity, usually without risking a tear. So I also always use something between my hand and my pretty paper. And that again is to reduce that friction of your skin rubbing that paper, and you could potentially tear something thin. Rice paper, you're not going to tear that way, but a napkin or tissue paper, you will. It also protects your image. So if I have paint or glitter or glue or something on my fingers, I'm not going to run the risk of getting it on my image. So I like to have something between my skin and the image. Okay. So now she's down there pretty secure. I only need the center secure. And now I can lift up my edges here and continue on and know that my paper is already being held down by that first layer. Can you hear my lap dog?
Yeah.
My 110-pound Great Pyrenees. Hey, Jackie. Oh, gotta go investigate.
Yeah. Okay, I just put a comment. I was trying to test if your comments were working.
So we have 2/3 of it down. Now I can lift this up, peel this back. It started to dry before I got to it, no worries. Peel it back and reapply your decoupage medium. That's what's wonderful working with the high quality paper that Donna offers. Not all rice papers are created equal. And Donna only uses really nice quality rice paper. I've never had an issue with any of the papers or vendors or artists that she uses. They're all just super quality, whether it's the detail and the colors, but just the quality of the rice paper she offers. It's really nice to work with. Okay.
It looks good.
Good. Okay, I'm going to give it another blow dry real quick because you don't want to stand or mess with your paper when it's wet because it's in a weakened state. Because you know how easy paper is to tear when you get it wet?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want this to tear other than where I want it to tear.
Right.
Another thing too, if you have any air bubbles or creases. I know some people are like, I cannot stand creases. I'm one of those. Some people are like, I don't mind wrinkles. Doesn't bother me. Yeah, it bothers me. So when you heat this up, it reactivates, kind of re-liquefies that decoupage medium. And if you do have an air bubble, which honestly I do not, but if I did, I can now have the opportunity to hopefully rub that back out.
Yeah.
Or if you did have to poke it with a tiny pin, if you really had to. I've never done that. I've never had to do that. I've always been able to get it to lay back down. Okay, the only issue I have, yeah, right up here at the corner. That's probably from lack of getting sufficient Mod Podge down. I think I'm happy with this Mod Podge, I will tell you.
Yeah.
I think at Michael's, I think that size bottle, I want to say was like $12.99. I would have bought a smaller bottle if I saw it, just to try it out, but I didn't see a smaller bottle.
So I started using something called, it's Liquid Text Professional, Gloss, Medium, and Varnish. I did it on my last 3 projects, and they came out fantastic, like no wrinkles at all. So I got this, we have this like our thrift store, and it's like run by volunteers, and you go in and you can, there's like 4,000 square feet of just everything you can think of to do an art project. So they have paints, brushes, they have fabric, they have pads like watercolors, everything there. And so what you do is you know, to the store, get whatever you want. They have bags there. And you determine how much you think it's worth, and that's what you donate to them.
Oh, no. I mean, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. Way too much
donate what you think it's worth, you know. For instance, this bottle here was maybe a little than half full when I got it. So it wasn't a full bottle, you know, but
that's a terrific way to try something new instead of having to spend full price for something.
Right, exactly. And I'm
almost
really
like a sample size.
So I think when I'm done with it, I've got to find it because it's called Liquid Text Professional, Gloss, Medium, and Varnish. It's like stuff.
The fact that it has professional on it, I don't know that I've seen the professional formulation. But I have used the Liquitex gloss varnish on a lot of things, and I am very happy with it.
Yeah, I have a Liquitex base acrylic gloss varnish, but it's not the professional. It doesn't say professional on it. So I don't know. But I'm hoping I can find it when I'm done with it because it's really good stuff.
Well, now that's one more thing I don't have that I need. Because we want all the stuff to do all the things.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. But it's like when you're crafting, you need everything. You never know like what you need next or what could be helpful to your project. So, you know, you feel like you need everything.
I'm fascinated with the foils, Donna, that you have on your website now.
Oh, the foils. Those are so cool.
I've got some plans for those, and now that I know you carry them, I'm going to have to get a couple of those.
Well, I did a cap. Oh, I don't have it with me here. Darn it. I think it's in the other room. And it came out so cool. And I made a boo-boo on it. It still came out good.
So now once my paper was dry, I'm able to gently sand the edges You can use a paintbrush with a little bit of water on it and go around the edges, and that kind of weakens those fibers, and it lets you gently pull those off. Because you may be using something where you don't want to sand, but in this case, I knew I could. So up here, I just needed to barely go over the top curve of the little binding up here. Because we're going to put some pretty trim over that. I just don't want a blank space. Or if we end up with a blank space, we could always fill that in with a little bit of gold metallic paint, or the trim might actually cover it.
So Teresa Perry is on, one of our favorite girls.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, it's so awesome. Hey, Teresa, you might win this paper. You're the only one so far that's commented and sprinkled. Are you following Bronia with this on her these bits and bubbles?
I feel bad because I did tag you down on your site, so hopefully anybody that wanted to see me tonight would know to come see you on your page. But I didn't know that, so I did not tell them to. Okay.
No.
All right, Teresa, thanks for coming in. We're working on this cool journal. So instead of opening like this way, like a notebook, it opens this way. It does have the lines in it. But what I loved about it is that it has the metallic corners, which I did cover by paper, so I'm going to have to open those up. But look at the pages, how they're rimmed in that gorgeous gold, how rich and expensive that looks.
Yeah, that's really
cool. I covered the gold corners here with painter's tape, so I didn't paint over it. So we did a couple different colors of the Tiffany blue and white paint, and just dry brush with metallic to just kind of give the back of it just this really kind of edgy, artistic finish. I didn't want to do anything too flat or like one-dimensional, because look how fabulous this image is. So I thought she deserves something equally as kind of avant-garde kind of happening here. And then just a gold metallic harlequin and a champagne gold.
It's so pretty. And did you get that journal?
I'm sorry?
Where did you get the journal at?
Oh, the journal. Yeah, I didn't tell you. I got it from Walmart, and I bought 3 different style journals because now I'm kind of, while this is drying, I can go ahead and, so this is another one I started, another style. This also was a fabric cover and kind of a canvas. You can still see the texture in it. Maybe it was like a patchwork of gold and cream and orange. So I did do my white chalk paint, like I said earlier, and then I painted it with variations of the turquoise and kind of a mint or a limey green, because the paper I'm putting on it is this one here, and I wanted her to kind of look like she was in the garden. So she's going to have lots of gold, and I've got some really cool stencils I'm going to add to the front and the back. That's kind of vines and ivy and a butterfly, of course, because look at her wings. So I've got to look for the right quote. Donna knows I like to add quotes to different things I've made. So this, Teresa, is one of Donna's prints.
Yeah.
And it says, a wise girl knows her limitations. A smart girl knows that she has none. I love that. And then this one from the Sarah Rowe collection. So the quote on here says, wherever life plants you, bloom in grace. And this is an old French proverb. Wherever life plants you, bloom in grace. And so there's a...
That's beautiful. That came out really nice.
Thank you. I did that with Angela, with Midwest Angel Boutique. We both did a sailor night, and oddly enough, we both picked the same print to do. And then this one, I love her. And as soon as I saw her, not only is my favorite color purple, so I knew I had to do something with her.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I love the expression on her face. And so this quote says, yet despite the look on my face, you're still talking. She's for me, and I never did finish her, but there's my love of Harlequin and kind of 2 colors on the base coat and then metallic on top.
Those are very nice.
Thank you.
I love them. Teresa loves it too.
Oh, thank you. All right. So on here, I want to make sure my gold pretty corners show, because I think that makes it just look a little bit more expensive. We don't want it to look like a Walmart journal by the time we're done with it.
Yeah. So Teresa's favorite color is purple.
Oh.
Purple's a pretty color for sure. But mine's green. I love green. Any kind of green.
I like lime green and hunter green. Pretty spring green. I think my like of some colors are very situational. Like I'm not an orange girl unless I'm dealing with fall. And then I tend to go for the kind of burnt orange color.
Yeah. Well, orange is good for fall and Halloween. And I love like those fall colors against black. It's one of my favorite looks.
I decorate in fall with eggplant in that deep, rich kind of burgundy rust color and a deep teal. And then just an accent here and there of that burnt orange and mustard. Okay, so I just use my paintbrush dipped in water. Ideally, I would have clean water for my dipping, but that's okay. And then all I did was paint over the paper that was covering my pretty gold edges. And that weakened the paper fibers enough that I gently could just pinch and pull that paper away. And it was important that you don't add Mod Podge to whatever you don't want the paper to stick to.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the corners. Can you see that they're metallic?
Yeah.
And then just a really cool accent, and look how it's pretty with the edges of the paper. So this is no longer that little $8 bind or $8 journal from Walmart. It's on a whole different level now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
like it. An art journal book, a book from Goodwill.
You know, I'm a list maker. I like to write things down because I'm so visual. I think a lot of creatives are. And I tend to write things down here, there, and everywhere. If I'm at work, it's in my whatever notebook I'm working out of at work. Or I'll write it on a napkin, or if I'm home, I'll sketch it on my piece of paper. I actually have notes here from work. It could be a grocery list. It could be get an oil change. It could be pick Adam up from work. It could be a quote. It could be anything. But then my thoughts and my notes are all scattered, like glitter in the wind. And then I don't have one spot to go to for my to-do list or my quotes so I'm trying to get myself organized. And I thought if I could do this one pretty journal, I don't know, Teresa, did you see this one? This pretty print. This came out of a book from Amazon. Oh, now I don't know what I do with my pretty paper. Oh, there she is. I thought if I had one spot as kind of my running to-do list and something pretty, I would probably do that. Honestly, this is probably an $8 or $10 journal from Walmart. I'd probably go to the Dollar Tree and get those composition notebooks, the ones without the spiral, the composition ones, which is kind of that fabric binder, for $1.25 is my ongoing to-do list. Something fancy and special like this would be my journal, or my kind of my journal of inspiration, happy, good things that have happened. So when you're having a bad day, or you're down in the dumps, or you've had a run on bad luck, you can open your list and read it of all the good things that's happened. Maybe it's a good thing that's happened to you, but I get happy when good things happen for good people, whether it's somebody I know, somebody I hear about on the news. I want to start jotting this down, so when I'm feeling like the burden is too heavy, you can open your book and read these inspirational things, and I think it can change your whole outlook. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I remember 2 months ago when that ladybug landed on my shoulder. and how happy that made me feel. I remember when I picked my son up from work and his manager came over and, said, how great he is to work with. He's such a nice young man. As a single mom, that means everything, right? When we get compliments about our children. A neighbor did a nice thing for my doggie the other night, my lap dog, who got out of the backyard because she put her big old snoot in between the gate and the post. And not only did the little latch she opened, but we've always had dogs. And years ago, my dad fashioned this piece of wire with a hook that latches up and over. So even if doggie's smart enough to open the latch, they're not smart or tall enough to open that extra. Well, This one is 9.5 years old. You can teach old dogs new tricks. So my neighbor saw her in the front yard, knew she shouldn't be out there, got her to come to him with treats, came over and knocked on my window, and I opened the door, seeing my neighbor and my dog on the porch. You should not be on the front porch. So I'm going to write that down, because months from now in the winter, when I'm like, ugh, I'm going to go back and I'm going to have pages full of good things that have happened, just random acts of kindness that I did, somebody did for me, I heard about on the news, I heard about somebody I know. And just keep a list, something that can shift a mindset from sad or negative. Just flip the script, they say, right? Think of something positive. So if I have a pretty notebook or journal to keep track of those things, I'm much more likely to write them down and keep them in one place. So that's my goal for why I'm making a pretty journal for myself. So I do need to start selling my items, because, they're starting to take over my house. And I don't have a big enough following really to justify an auction, but I am going to start listing my things for sale on my site, because my good friend Violet, and she did say I could share her story, she is in a wheelchair full time, and she has been for 20 some odd years. And even after some other time, I'll give you the whole story, but she's been in the wheelchair full time for decades. She continued to work. She was at the Mayo Clinic for like a year, had to learn how to redo everything. She broke her back, broke her neck, She didn't, someone did it to her. But she came back and went to work and worked another, 18 years or something. She lost her beloved service dog back in early March. He died of cancer. And he is her lifeline to independent living. So she lives in her own home. She has an adaptive van. But the long and short of it is, all of this is an out-of-pocket expense for her. To have her dog trained, the previous dog was a 2-year training period, and $35,000.
Wow.
We had to fundraise, bake sale, church, selling stuff on Facebook. She's a crafter. Can you imagine? So I want to sell my items, and then my profit I make, I'm going to put into gas cards for her, because now her new puppy should be born any minute now. And the new trainer is about a 45-minute to an hour drive from her, which is amazing, because she used to have to go out of state. But the expense of her adaptive van, which is a very heavy van, because it's got a special base, a special floor to it to hold her wheelchair. And the ramp adds a whole lot of weight. So she gets terrible gas mileage. So I thought, if I could sell some things throughout the month, I could bless her with a $25 or a $50 or $100 gift card every couple of weeks to help support her as she goes to the trainer as this new puppy gets trained. So anyway, my goal is to start selling things and taking custom orders and making things that I could then sell. And then that profit, anything above and beyond I need to just cover my bare expenses, will go to bless Violet to get gas money. And, as puppy grows, he needs a new harness and all the extra things they need to train him to do specifically what she needs. She has to supply that. That doesn't come with the trainer. So as he grows, it's a black lab, we think. Mom is a black lab, daddy's a black lab. This man's been breeding and training for years. So we think he's going to be a big black lab. And I'll share the name when the baby is born. puppies are born and they decide based on temperament and trainability which one is hers. I'll share the name. But anyway, I'm excited about being able to bless somebody else. And those are the kind of things I'm going to write in here. Sold my Maryland journal. Blessed Violet with $20 for gas money. You know, those kinds of things. Some are little things we're happy about. Some are small blessings and some are huge blessings. Like a huge lottery win would be great. But until then, I'm happy to sell little things I can that help somebody else. Okay, so here we basically are. I think we're dry enough to go ahead and seal it. I'm going to take a chance and seal it with Mod Podge gloss, because if it's good enough for Debbie Lonsdale, it's good enough for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she knows for sure.
That's the scary thing. I have never had this happen, but I did see a lady once. She thought she was using this clear spray enamel. That engine enamel, it comes in different colors. So this is before I was really crafting online. I've been crafting for decades, but before I went live and before I even knew this community existed, it was a blooper reel, I guess. I think I found it on YouTube. But she had her finished item. I don't know if it was like a metal table or a plant stand for outside. And she did this beautiful painting of some such on it. And she's talking live. And she gets out her spray and she's shaking it and shaking it. She pops the lid off, goes to spray her finished piece, thinking that she's spraying a clear sealer on it. It was white.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't you just about die?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Careful.
I have no idea who she is, or to send her a condolence card or anything. That would have just been the world's worst. Well, fast forward to me finding Debbie Rigg, Mel Lonsdale, with Studio MDAZ and Czech Savvy Sisters, and she talked about using the engine enamel in clear. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that is what I tell people all the time. There's one that I like, and I'm afraid to try anything else because I like this one, because I like to add rhinestones to a lot of my projects.
Right.
And if you spray on top of rhinestones, most of the time it dulls the rhinestone.
Right.
It takes away some of that fabulous sparkle. So I found out by mistake this engine enamel that I just got from O'Reilly's, which is just a mile from my house. I just bought clear engine enamel, and I was making something in kind of a hurry. I was going to do a meet and greet in Jasper, Indiana, just over a year ago. And I was doing my live and doing my Tumblr, which I'll show you here in just a second. And I got to talking and breathing and thinking and all the things. And I put my stones on my Tumblr before I meant to. And I thought, oh no, I was supposed to spray the clear sealer on there first and then put the rhinestones on. But I was on live and I just had to go with it. So here's my rhinestones. Can you see? Those are covered with 2 layers of the clear engine enamel, yet they are still super sparkly.
Wow.
But I don't know if that. Oh, Sanzan. No. Sanzan, you cannot be up here. No. He gets up here when I work and I make a space for him.
No, because everything just dulls them.
So this brand is what I sprayed it with. And now this is the only one I want to use because now I'm afraid to use anything else in case it dulls the rhinestones. But think of that. If your rhinestones are on there, they're extra sealed on there now because now you got a couple layers of the sealer on there and they're not going to pop off as easily.
Yeah.
So, of course, make sure. I think what happened to that lady I was telling you about, I think she got engine enamel, saw kind of the clear lid, and thought she was good to go. No, it comes in all those muscle car colors, orange and purple and lime green and all these other colors. make sure whatever that it says clear on the label. Do not go by the lid color. That would just
So
be
I have some enamel that I bought. I don't know. But or here, the Phoenix can help. I have something that I sprayed, because I wanted to keep the color. So, I mean, I sprayed it every couple of months to, protect it, and it still faded.
Oh no.
That's the Phoenix for you.
I was going to say, that's probably the Southwest Sun.
Yep.
All right. So while she's still drying, I'm going to go ahead and put some bling on the, what is that? The edge? What is that? Not the binder.
Wow. Yeah.
The binding, book binding. Yeah. So instead of being on the side of it, this is going to run along the top. And so this is some of that Robert Stanley bling. I have rolls of the old version because the newer version is not as nice. It's like the stones are farther apart and they're not as sparkly. So they must have found a new manufacturer.
Yeah.
So it's 2 layers or 2 rows. Let me see if I can find part of it that's still maybe 3 rows. No, looks like all I have in this bag are 2 rows wide. So it came 5 rows wide, which is great because then you could separate it by rows of stones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think on here, ideally, let's see here. Gosh, I think 4 rows. Because more is more. Okay, let's just see. So I do not like those little threads that stick off the sides. Can you see that? So I'm going to have to trim those and get rid of it. I have seen people with a lighter go, shh. That is too scary for me. Yeah, I am fearful that I would burn my hand, burn my trim, my ribbon.
Your house.
Well, yeah, not to mention I'm surrounded by paper and craft supplies and rescue beasties. Oh, now he's on the windowsill. So that's Zanzibar. He's my 20 pound, well, not 20 pounds anymore. Closer to 12 pounds now, the vet said, which is good. So he's 16. He's our rescue kitty. He picked us out when we went to the shelter to get another kitty. And I was writing the check to adopt the kitty. We went there to see and to be interviewed to see if we were the right family to get him. And this kitten climbed up the cage and reached his little paws through and was just crying and reaching out for my son. So sometimes you pick the pet and sometimes they pick you. So he's been with us for over 16 years.
Wow.
And when we first got him, oh my gosh, when I was writing the check, I already regretted my decision. And as we're driving home, I continued to regret my decision because I tell you, he was a feral. He was feral. He and his little brother and his mama and the other litter mates were found in boxes. And this made the news here in St. Louis. They were found, a whole bunch of cats, mama cats and their babies were found in cardboard boxes, taped up, thrown alongside the banks of a very treacherous river, not the Mississippi, but the Merrimack River. And some guys were out in the woods, I don't know if they were hunting or what, but thankfully they heard these horrible sounds, like wild animal sounds. And they went to investigate and they found all these boxes full of cats. Wow. So they went to where they had phone reception, called the sheriff. He came, and we have the Humane Society headquarters here in Missouri, here in St. Louis. And so they sent out their emergency rescue team. And immediately we heard about it on the news. It said, hey, we've got hundreds of cats, mamas and babies coming in. we need every cat rescue in the area to come and take some of these off our hands. You know, they were all bathed and vetted and treated and all that, and they were just asking for the community to step forward and come foster.
Yeah.
So this one lady that runs her own rescue, that's how she got some of them. She stepped up and got the mama and him and his brother are the only ones that were left by the time we got there. So I can't imagine. I understand not everybody likes cats, but I don't understand cruelty to animals. That's just not something my brain can comprehend. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the little threads off the sides. That's not fun. That's not cute. So that cannot be there. So I'm going to, we're going to go ahead and get the 2 rows on here and see if we need 1 more row or 2 more rows.
Okay.
If we don't want to be skimpy with our trim. And I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1.
Yeah.
I graduated to the big bottle because I love it for many, many, many things.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So I'm going to run right over the edge of that paper because I did run the paper over the top of my book binding just a little bit because I knew I was going to add my pretty trim on top of it. So I wanted my paper that looks like it kind of just went under the pretty trim. The fact that this book lays almost flat is great because now while she's still drying, we can continue working on it. Oopsies. Just close her up here. There's 2 rows.
Oh.
Can you see? I don't know if that catches the light.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, let's get that done. So this, I don't mind the finish of this Mod Podge Multi, but Donna, you and I like the Liquitex. I haven't used the Pro, but 1 layer is not that shiny, I gotta tell you. So maybe a couple more or 1 more layer would be shinier, which I'm sure it would, but well, yeah, I do kind of need to do that if I'm going to continue to bling her. So, although I have used that Liquitex gloss on top of rhinestones, and I have been okay with that effect, but I will tell you, it did dull the rhinestones a little bit.
Yeah.
So I still kind of stick to my tried and true, where rhinestones and stickles are the very last thing I do.
Mm-hmm. Teresa said it's very pretty.
No, thank you. What's the name of Teresa's page? Are you the gray duck lady?
I don't. No, she doesn't. I don't have a page. Do you, Teresa? If you do, let me know because I'll follow you. So the duck lady, her name is Jamie.
Jamie, that's the one. I followed her with my page, but I have to go back and follow her personally.
Yeah.
That's a cute name.
Teresa doesn't. She doesn't have a page.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll learn something or get inspired. And oops.
One thing about Bronia is full of good tips.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Always something new from you.
Oh, well, thank you. See, now we all need to make a pretty journal and put all of our tips in there. Because again, I write stuff down all the time. I have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
I sketch all the time, or, you know, and it's embarrassing. Like I would never show anybody my sketches. of ideas, because ideas pop like popcorn. You just never know where inspiration strikes. And now I don't know, because I write it down on my notebook at work. I write it on a napkin. I put it in my purse, my pocket, my tote bag, blow my nose with it. And now I've lost my sketch of some brilliant thing I wanted to make. So my goal is to have a go-to pretty notebook, and that's where I put all my brilliant ideas.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it did need 4 rows because Marilyn is not about less is more. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a hard time saying
yeah,
easy.
that looks good. That looks pretty good.
And I love the fact that these pages are edged in gold. How
Yeah.
often do we see that? Not very.
Wow, that is pretty.
She definitely needs another layer of sealer. So some people have asked me, where do you find all your rhinestones? So I will tell you, my go-to is Amazon. You can get a little starter kit like this for like $5.99 with different colors in it. This will come with a little tube of B7000 and a little tray and a little wax pencil to pick up your. So something like this for $5.99 with different colors is a great way to start, because then it comes with the little glue that you need and a little wax pencil to help you pick up your stones. Sometimes you'll get one that comes with like a little tray too. And then when you're sure that you want to add pretty rhinestones to everything you make, like me, then you can graduate up to these samples, or not samples, but these multi-packs of different colors.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a plan for those. But this I just recently purchased, Donna, after I committed to tonight. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I have to hurry up and order my turquoise stones. But look at all of those. That's probably picking up the glare bad boy. But you can order these great packs of multicolors in the same family. So if you're doing something you need blues, there's Aurora Borealis, there's turquoise, there's royal blue, and then there's multiple sizes of each color. And then of course, Teresa, get ready to drool. Purples.
Oh, purple.
So I pulled out colors that I knew I would need for this. And then this is just a great kind of I'm going to refer to it as a neutral pack, because I could see using this on just about every project. But they're metallics, they're metals. So there's gold, silver, copper, kind of a platinum black metal, if you will. And then there's the shiny, like gemstone topaz, clear diamond, and this really pretty, almost like a root beer color. And then there's 3 that are kind of a honey, but they're Aurora Borealis. So you get a real great selection of really great neutrals.
Wow.
So I like those. Because Donna, in those foils you have that animal print, kind of leopard print one. And I thought that leopard print with these accents would be gorgeous on a cap.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be.
Okay. So I don't know. I know I need to go ahead and get another layer of sealer on her before I could do gemstones. And I don't know how we're doing on time. I might need to go ahead and finish this behind the scenes and then post it. Oh, you know what else? I need to go ahead and seal this real quick, the back, because I like to put my gold rhinestones or my gold cabochons in between the points.
Oh, yeah.
But here's my thought. If this is lying down on your table or on your desk or, wherever, I don't know that I want something that could scratch my tabletop. So instead of 3D stones, I think I could just use my gold and do dots.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Darn it. I was all excited about that, but I'm thinking that may be a better idea. Is not anything potentially scratchy on the back of that. All right. So you tell me, do we need to wrap it up for tonight, or should I go ahead and seal?
No, we probably should. We're like at 1.5 hours now. So.
Okay. Well, that was fun. I'll go ahead and get it finished and then post it. Send you a photo if you like.
Yes. Thank you so much, Bronia. Hey, Teresa, you won this. You're the only one, so this is going to you. Yahoo!
Yep. It's
I
a
sent
pretty
Teresa
one.
something just about every now. So this is a beautiful print, and it's going to be yours. And I will probably get in the mail on Saturday for you. But anyway, thank you so much, Bronia. I'm so glad you joined us.
Yeah, I would like to get back to a kind of a schedule. I just need to get through this summer heat because it just really zaps my energy.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
Yeah.
If you want to give us a quick look at that pen, just pull it up there so you can see it.
Which one? I'm sorry.
The Maryland, there we go.
Oh, I was just doing my trimming of those little threads. So here she is, the front of your journal, your gratitude journal. It opens this way. So I went ahead and left the original here because it was gold and kind of this Art Deco design. It doesn't clash because it's got enough of that mustard gold in here. I went ahead and left that. You could always paint the inside of it if it was not the right color for you, or add something to it. You know, you could always add words of wisdom or kind of an inspirational quote yourself inside there, whatever you want to do. But we did go ahead and paint the back because the back has to be pretty. And then again, on the inside, I did go ahead and leave. That's the original from when I bought them. But these were at Walmart, and I bought 3 or 4 journals, different ones that day. And I don't think I paid more than $11 for any of them. So this one, I think, because of all the gold on it, I think this was probably the most expensive one. And I want to say probably, I don't know, $10.49, or maybe it was $10.99. But I thought it was perfect because I thought it looked really rich and pretty, and no longer. So imagine a quote, one of Marilyn Monroe's quotes here, and then full of a smattering of rhinestones. Oopsies. Like, yeah. So like on here. So I'll get the quote and then I'll get all kinds of pretty sparklies going on.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Very pretty.
So that's what it'll look like when it's finished.
Yeah.
One of her quotes and some rhinestones, and then it'll get sealed.
Awesome.
So, well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
You have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us. It was so nice chatting with you.
You as well. Thank you for your patience. But now I know how to do this whole StreamYard thingy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, have a good night. Bye, everyone. Bye, Teresa.
Thanks again. Good night.